Hey everybody, it's Christopher Small, the owner of CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning, we do probate, we do it well. Today I want to talk to you about what probate is and why people want to avoid it. Hot topic all the time. Before I get to that though, I want to remind you, if you have questions about this or anything else related to estate planning or probate and you want to talk to us, you can do so for free over the phone or in person by going to estatemeeting.com. Okay? All right, let's talk about probate. Probate, so everybody's sort of heard of probate. We understand that it's kind of something that happens when people die, but often we're not really sure exactly what that means. We know there's like some court involved potentially. There's these things called letters. We got executors and personal representatives floating around. We got heirs and beneficiaries, all kinds of stuff. But the process of probate itself is a little amorphous, right? It's hard to grab your hands around. So today I was going to talk to you about what exactly it is, and then also share a little bit about why people are so interested in avoiding it, including maybe a myth or two that will sort of help give you an idea of what you want to do if you're considering estate planning when you're thinking about avoiding probate. Okay, so first things first, probate is really just the process of transferring one person's assets to another person. So imagine if you have a piece of property, like a piece of real estate, a house, and someone dies, and they give that house to their son, okay? The process of transferring that piece of property to their son is done via probate. Probate is sort of the short name for this process. What happens during that process, someone is appointed to be put in charge of the estate. That person in Washington state is called a personal representative. Many other people know that person as the executor, and then that person basically has the authority to do whatever they need to do, in the term confined by the law, to administer the estate, which is essentially gathering the assets of the person that's died, paying, figuring out what those debts are of that person that died, paying those debts off, and then distributing those assets. That is what probate is in a nutshell. Okay, there can be some interesting things in there in the middle, but that is basically what we're always trying to decide. What are the assets? What are the debts? Should the debts be paid? Who gets the assets in the estate? Okay, now, why do people want to avoid probate? Why is there all this talk all the time about putting together a trust and doing these things to avoid probate? Well, in some states, the process of probate in and of itself is a beast. Okay, so California, for example, it's not that fun. There's a lot of court intervention. It's very expensive. So that means it takes your time, it takes your money, it takes your attention, and it takes you away sort of from the grieving process of sort of celebrating the person that's gone. And these things can happen many other places. I talked to an attorney in Arkansas the other day where it's the same thing. They take 3% of the assets as a fee on average. So if you have $1 million in the estate, the fee is going to be 30 grand, right? That's a lot. That's not what we charge here in Washington, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, is to sort of spell out specifically that Washington State's probate process, while still a pain in the butt, still kind of expensive, is not nearly as bad as it is in other places. People still do want to avoid it though, because they don't want to deal with that time. They don't want to deal with that process, and they don't want to spend that money. And so they often will do things that they need to do in advance to avoid probate, because with a little bit of upfront work, you can essentially avoid everything that has to do with the probate process. Okay, so hopefully that answers the question of what is probate and why do people try to avoid it. If you have any more questions, you can leave a comment below. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you know someone needs to hear this, please share it with them. And if you want to talk to me more about helping you avoid probate or whatever else you might want to talk about, I'll talk about whatever. You can go to estatemeeting.com, set up a time to talk with us over the phone or in person for free, estatemeeting.com. Okay, I am Christopher Small. I am the owner of CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning, we do probate, we do it well, and that's it for today. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you again soon.